Well, good morning. As you see, the sun has not fully risen yet over the trees. It is Sunday, right? And this is a very rare day that I have nothing to do. Like, there's nothing in my calendar. The kids don't have to go anywhere. My husband is at work this morning. Well, he'll be home by 12, but 12 or 1. I have literally no responsibilities. I can be a bum today. Hence the wine pajamas. And let me see if I can show you. I found these in Five Below. My sheep slippers. They so cute. So I am doing nothing. Now, I don't know why I love recording outside. I think it's because it just feels so relaxing and serene. So that's where I'm at. But it's a little chilly out here. So we won't make this too long. So there's just a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Oh, before I forget, as always, this is Tiffany. The channel is Beyond Swatches, and thank you so much for clicking on the video. As of yesterday or last night, I made it to 1,000 subscribers according to the YouTube studio statistics. Hopefully that doesn't drop or change, but either way, I'm at 900 and something. I think I checked on Friday and it was 999, and I was just like, oh my God. I finally made it to that illustrious number that people crave so much. So thank you for clicking and subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. Now, in order to hit that beautiful monetization that will hopefully one day allow me to reduce my work hours or quit my job, which I don't think I could ever do that. But now I need to up my watch hours. That's what they say. So I need 4,000 watch hours. I'm right at like 1,800 and some change. So, I mean, I guess I can't control how much people watch, you know, if it's not engaging enough or if it's not your thing. I understand. But if there is anything that you would like to see that you could watch for a duration of time, let me know so that I can make that as my goal. But anyway. So on this channel, if you don't know already, if you're not one of my blessed 1,000 subscribers and you're new here, my goal in this channel is to find patterns that I love, patterns that fit my body. I'm a plus size person, so I need clothes that fit me, but not just fit on me like a sack, even though that's kind of cute sometimes. Things that fit and make you feel good, right? Like we don't want to just, oh, the sun is so pretty. Look at it. Oh, I love this. Yes, we like to make things and we like the joy of getting it accomplished. But more than that, I want to feel proud wearing my garment. You know what I mean? So that's my goal. And then the second part of that goal is to discover yarns that I've never worked with. Find yarns that aren't going to break the bank, but still give me a beautiful knitting experience. So if any of that sounds like something that you're interested in, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notification thingies. Now, I will say I try to post a video every week, at least as an update for what I'm working on. It doesn't always happen. And it doesn't always happen because I work a full-time job and I got some kids and they're like young adults, so they don't drive yet. And so I'm the chauffeur. And then I'm a wife and, you know, so we got stuff to do. So sometimes I don't get to always update, but I will always come back and at least update you on the things that I've been showing. It's cold. My eyes are watering. I'm not crying, even though I am filled with joy. All right. So show you the updates, and then I want to tell you about some pattern shopping that I did because I lost my marbles. All right. So the only thing, not only, but the one thing that I really want to finish today, if possible, is going to be my half and half wrap. And I'm going to show you why. Okay. The reason why is because if you've not seen this half and half wrap before, it is a Pearl Soho pattern. It's free. They recommend it, or it's made in their linen quill yarn, which I did use. And this one, I don't remember what it's called. It's like a pink pop or flamingo or something like that, but it's a very neon pink. And then this one is just a beige. I don't know what it's called, but you'll see it if you looked it up. So this is the half and half wrap. It's almost done, right? Like It's basically two triangles, half and half triangles wrap is what it's called. It's basically two triangles, one knit the long way, like you knit across all of the stitches and you decrease it by one each row until you get to the tip. And then the next triangle, you knit from the short end to the long end, and you increase by one stitch each row, and well, every two rows, and then you end on the wider point of the triangle. So that's the part that I'm on right now. Now, when I casted this on, I cast it on not the recommended cast on number, which I think was 225. I did 275, I think. So it's a little bit bigger because I made another one and I use it constantly. I love this yarn for a wrap. I'm not too thrilled with it in a sweater unless maybe I held it with something to soften up. It's the teeniest bit. That's one of my cats back there. That's Simone. And Sylvia is running around out here too somewhere. Y'all will see them probably all the time. But it has the teeniest amount of prickle on bare skin. So if you wore it with a tank top, you'd probably be okay. Or like one of those skinny spaghetti strap tops, you'd be okay. But as a full-on sweater with long sleeves, I'm a little sensitive in that area, especially like here around my neck, and I start to get hives. So it's not for me for a full-on shirt. I like the feel, and the more you wash it, the better it feels, but that initial prickle is a little off-putting. But in a wrap, when you're putting it over your clothes and you just want to feel warm, it's beautiful. So definitely recommend for that. So this is how much I got left on my wrap. The problem is it looks like it shouldn't be that much, but each of these single stitches is 2 rows. And then I have to come all the way back down the 200 some odd stitches and then come back, pick up another one, go all the way back down, come all the way back to pick up another one. So it's going to take some time, but I'm dedicating this first couple of hours of the morning just to that. That is gorgeous. I wish I could frame that right there. It's so pretty. Anyway, so that's my goal for this. Hopefully I'll be able to show you a finished wrap in the next video. That's my goal. And I only have, let's see, this amount of yarn left, so I'm pretty confident that I should be able to finish those. You see them back there playing? I should be able to finish these like 20 some odd rows, which is about 40 rows back and forth. So hopefully. I have another one. I would just hate to crack it open for such a little amount, but if you have to, you just have to. That's it. The other thing that I'm working on, which will be my end of evening project for today, oops, let's like knock you over, is this black ranunculus that I'm making. So I have a knitting group right now that is making your first ranunculus, and the ladies that are in there have updated me, except one, I haven't heard from you, but they're updating me and they're like splitting for sleeves. Girl, this sun is just giving me life. Anyway, they are splitting for sleeves. One of them finished the body already and is working on the sleeve. They're doing a great job. And as I said in the couple of videos before when I announced this, there's no way that you would need me for 2 whole months, but 2 months of knitting gives you the flexibility to kind of take a break, but it's such an engaging pattern that you really don't want to. And I'm glad to see that everyone so far has agreed with me that the yoke part is so much fun to knit, and then you get to the boring body, which is what I'm on, and you're just kind of like powering through it because you really just want to wear your sweater. So this sweater is pretty popular in the knitting world. It is the Ranunculus. I'm pretty sure you can't see that. Let's see. All right, so that's some of the detailing. It has some lace and some crossover stitches. He has a lot to say this morning. It has some lace and some crossover stitches right there, and it's just a beautifully written pattern. So it does start with a couple of short rows across the back, and then I think you do a round, and then you start some short rows across the front. There's a couple of modifications that a lot of people have made. Some eliminate the short rows completely. I've done that before, and primarily because I don't want the lacy. I wish I could show you clearly. Let's see. You see these puppy dog toes right here that I call them? I don't like that part to be directly over my cleavage. So when I eliminated the short rows before, it just raised up the yoke part, the pattern, up a little bit over my cleavage area because I didn't want to have to deal with having to wear a tank top. So yeah, so after you finish with the yoke, you then split for the sleeves and knit the body. It does say in the pattern that you can bind off the sleeves if you want and just have like a very cap sleeve, or you can put the stitches on hold for the sleeves like I did this time. And even if you just knit it out like maybe 3 or 4 rounds and then did some ribbing on the sleeve, you can do that, or you can just bind it off and have a raw edge, which that looks fine too. And then you just go down to your body. You end it off with a smaller size needle. That's according to the pattern. I have never done that. I didn't see no need to, and I think I forgot on the first time, and so I just casted off everything in a size 10 needle. Yeah, so the pattern itself is worked on a size 10, US 10, and it is worked on that for the whole pattern, which is weird to say the least for most people, and you kind of want to go against the grain and fight that, but don't. It's written the way it's written and it fits. It's beautiful. I love it. And I think somebody had commented that this would be the only sweater that they ever make. I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't be mad at you, but there's tons of others out there that deserve just as much popularity, and that's my goal. My goal is to find those patterns that still give me the excitement that this one did. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can be finished with this in no time. I know it looks like it won't fit across my body, but it will. The yarn stretches, so I'll be okay. And quite honestly, if it doesn't, we'll just make another one. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, so that is that. And then the last thing that I will be picking up once this wrap is done is, are you ready for this? Because it's been a while since she made an appearance. My beloved Arctic Light sweater. Yep, she's back out of the closet. It is no longer too hot to work on it. I have already, every time I see this on camera, I get so excited. Oh, it's so pretty. Anyway, so I got the sleeve going. I only have a few more decreases to do. The decrease rounds on these sleeves go pretty quick. The way the chart is written for the sleeve, I want to say it's 8 rows per section. So 8 rows and then a decrease, two decreases on a round, and then 8 rows and then decrease. I am probably not going to get as many decreases as I think the pattern calls for, but if I'm not mistaken, it did have a knit until this length direction, so I'm going to have to double check it. I just know I needed to keep decreasing, so I was just going to keep going. I am trying to keep track of how many decreases I've done. Right now I've done 5, and I'm on the 6th one so far. This was a beautiful pattern too. It is not for a beginner, but if you know my motto, anything can be done if you just take your time. And you have a ton of YouTube videos out there. You have me as a resource. If I've made it, I can probably help you through it. Or I love a challenge. I like to be able to look at something and figure it out, you know. So I would recommend it. Maybe not, like I said, for a true beginner, like you've never made a sweater and this is going to be your first. You want to go for it, girl. I got you. But maybe an advanced beginner who's ready to take the training wheels off, because this was a little something. I don't know what word I want to throw there because I don't want to discourage you, but my God, isn't it beautiful? I love it. And the sleeves are almost done. Now, normally I knit the sleeves first, but this pattern had too much cables and I wanted to get rid of the bigger cables first and not have to worry about those. So I knit the body first and finished. And now I have to worry about Sleeve Island, but it goes pretty quick, so no worries on that. But yes, hopefully by the end of winter, if not November, I mean, I said the end, I meant the beginning of winter, which is like December 20th. But hopefully by November, end of November, I should be done with this, because this wrap will definitely be done. I have a couple of little side projects that I got going on, a gift for my best friend's mom, and you know, like little stuff like that. So it's not taking too much of my time, but these are my bigger projects, so they'll definitely, I should be done by November for this. I won't set it as a goal, but you go ahead and keep me honest. Because the other thing that I did not bring out here, but if you have watched a couple of videos before, I frogged that dress. And I frogged it because I didn't like the way it was made a little bit smaller. Too small. I did something wrong. And it's too small at the hem. And so even though I was able to increase it, it's giving me this look. And I don't need that look. I wanted the look in the photo. So I just decided to go ahead and make what they call that? I called it audible and I just frogged it. And I'm okay with that. I really, really am, because I want the dress enough that I'm okay with doing it over. And I'm hoping that because I've already knit through it, that memory will kick in and I'll be able to just power through it, you know. So that's my goal. Now, on to the stuff that, okay, here's the problem though. I don't have my tablet. I think it's in my car, which is with my spouse. And so I can't tell you what these patterns are exactly, but I'll put the Ravelry page and some pictures and things over here so you can see it as I go through it. The first one is a bit of a story. So a backstory. This designer is Vanessa Smith. I'm getting cold. Vanessa Smith Designs. And she had, I don't even know how I found this person. I don't know why I'm on her newsletter list. I don't think I've ever bought any of her patterns. I don't know why she's here, but I'm glad that she is, because she sent this newsletter and it was basically an announcement of a release of a new pattern. And it was this most beautiful pattern picture of a tealish green. It's a Malabrigo yarn, which I haven't really worked with Malabrigo that much, but it's a Malabrigo yarn. It is a V-neck. It has these beautiful cables, has a little bit of lace, I believe, right? And see, there go my cats running because my neighbor is out. But I love this pattern. So this pattern caught my eye because of the picture, which is a bit of a downfall for me. I'm not gonna lie. I usually will fall in love with the photo and the mood of a photo and not really pay attention to the details of the project. And so because of that, I put it in my cart right away. But I also told myself, take your time. The sale that she had going for the introduction was like 4 or 5 days or so. So I just took my time and I really looked through it. One thing is knit bottom up, and I despise bottom up. I don't like it because I like to be able to try it on, figure out where I should increase from my own body and where I should decrease. And it's hard to do that from bottom up. There was another sweater very similar to this one. I think it was called a Jolisa. Don't quote me, but if you look on her page, it's a navy blue, beautiful, lacy sweater. And the only thing about that one, because I had that in the cart too, it is top down, which is what I would have preferred. It is pretty similar. The only difference is it has a round neck, and I want to try something with a V-neck. I have many a round neck raglans, and I want to try a V-neck. The other thing it has is, it had not too many. It had more lacy cables across the front. And again, I don't want to have to always wear a tank top underneath. So I weighed the pros and cons of both. And even though my preference is top down, I went ahead and purchased the bottom up one. I just figured, very worst case scenario, I know what my length is. So I'll just have to repeat a chart or two or something and just work it out. So I'm really happy about that. What I don't have is yarn. So I got to figure out what yarn to use, because I want this one to be just as beautiful of a feeling as the picture gave me. Malabrigo yarn is expensive to me. Anything that's going to cost me $15 a skein is a lot, because I usually am going to need between 7 and 8, and if it's a heavily cabled sweater, I'll probably be needing closer to 9 or 10. And $15 times 9 and 10 balls of yarn is a lot, so that's an investment. So I have to read through her pattern, kind of figure out if I want to make that investment right now, or do I just want to take maybe a cheaper yarn that I have at home that's still of decent quality and practice first, because yeah, I don't know, that's a lot. But anyway, also in her list, I bought this cardigan pattern called the Nydia, which will also be over here. The Nydia cardigan grabbed my attention for 2 reasons. One, it was top down. Also, I think is a V-neck, right? You'll see the picture, so you'll know if I'm telling the truth or not. But I think it's also a V-neck, and you can crop it or lengthen it. And the pictures, the way that people have made this was so pretty. And I could see it as a part of my grab and go wardrobe, especially if you make it in a navy, maybe even a pale gray. You can amp it up and get a color going, like a bright red, or maybe a yellow or an orange. I think she had a yellow in the project photos. Me, I would do it in a pale pink. That would be a nice throw over your outfit type of sweater. So yeah, so those two by Vanessa Smith, I'm really, really excited about. Bought them on the same day, got really excited, started reading through the patterns, and then closed it because I was like, this is a lot of information. And again, I don't know her writing style, so I'm reading through the pattern and learning a new friend. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm treading with caution. But whenever you see that somebody has 120 something projects completed, then you know that it can be done. I just need to take my time and really just pay attention to what she's telling me. I need to learn how she speaks. So we'll work it out eventually. The next pattern was in my list of Ravelry potential purchases. And I don't know why I didn't purchase this pattern before. I think because I was putting myself on a ban of some sort. But it's called the Pure Purea. It's over here. I don't remember how she pronounced it, but you see the name. And it's all cabled. It is all cabled. And it looks like a radiating cable from the neck to the bottom, down the sleeves, and I was so excited to see this pattern. I was like, the only thing about it is, of course, is made with mohair. Not a mohair person. I think it's fuzzy. I think it's unnecessarily frizzy. It's always flying all over the place. So it's not my thing. But she said you can also use just a single strand of DK. For that sweater, I'm going to have to swatch. As much as I don't like doing it, I'm going to have to do it. Because I need to figure out if I'll be even close to her gauge as far as stitch count goes, and if I'm gonna like the way it looks, because I have some alpaca type mohairish yarn here, and if I have to use it, I will. But I'm hoping that I don't have to, because I really don't want to. My other option is I have a couple of very light fingering yarns that I might be able to hold double, which would give me more of like a sport weight yarn, or I can just purchase some sport weight yarn, which is not that easy to find. But Pearl Soho is good for sport weight, and I want to say Hobie has some nice sport weight yarns too. So I have some options and I got some wiggle room. But when I saw this pattern with all the cables, my God, I was just like, I'm making this sweater. And far be it from me to jump it in front of everything else, because I got other stuff I need to finish, but I could see me casting it on right away. Only thing is, with that sweater, The one that I bought is the light version, and she has a chunky version. The chunky version has a mock turtleneck, which I just thought was spectacular. And so a part of me is thinking, comparing stitch counts, I have another mock turtleneck type of shirt here, a pattern that I might be able to finagle the numbers and make the mock turtleneck with her ribbing, and then just jump into her body. You know what I mean? Jump onto the body part of the pattern. That sounded so weird. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna try to play around with that. But either way, the thing is, her pattern, if you saw, the neck is kind of wide, and I don't really want to do a wide neck. I don't really care for that look on me, but I would like it as a turtleneck, or maybe even just a smaller, like a little bit closer to the neck type of pattern. I don't know. So those are those two patterns. I mean, those three patterns that I purchased. And yeah, I can't tell you how excited I am to get started. So we are going to wrap this up. We are at 28 minutes on the recording time. And by the time I edit it out and try to fix it up or whatever, hopefully it'll be down to like 20-25 minutes or so. But as always, I thank you so much for growing my channel. I really, really appreciate it. I just hope that as you're watching this, that you feel inspired to just try it anyway. Like, you don't have to necessarily know everything. I hate the idea that there are beginners who would say, I could never do that, or I wish that I could do that. And I'm like, well, why can't you? You know, who's stopping you? You have all the tools, you know the basics, and even if you don't know the basics, you know enough to figure it out. You know, we got YouTube out here, for goodness sakes. Like, when I learned, remember I told y'all I learned from a book. So there was no book out there teaching me how to yarn over and drop a stitch on purpose, and you had to go to somebody for that. So now you can learn it from the comfort of your home. Don't say you can't. You can. So that's one of the things I just hope that you take away from being in my little space here on the internet, just that you can accomplish your goals. You just may have to take a little bit longer than you would like, but that's okay. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping that in time we'll figure out what to do content wise, because I always say this is my journey of my knitting projects. So I'm glad that you like watching it. But maybe there's something else you want to see. Thank you for joining today. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And yeah, make the best of it. Isn't this beautiful? It's going to be 80 degrees here today. Love it. Bye.